Jannah, also known as paradise or garden in Islam, is described in the Quran as an eternal afterlife of peace and bliss, where the faithful and righteous are rewarded. The Quran says the righteous will be restful in the presence of God, in gardens beneath which rivers flow. The word Jannah comes from an Arabic word that means to cover or hide something. Heaven, therefore, is a place that is unseen to us. Jannah is the final destination in the afterlife for good and faithful Muslims. Jannah is the Muslim concept of heaven or paradise, where good and faithful Muslims go after Judgment Day. Jannah is a beautiful, peaceful garden where water flows and abundant food and drink are served to the dead and their families. Jannah has 8 gates, the names of which are associated with righteous deeds. Jannah has multiple levels, in which the dead reside and commune with prophets and angels. Jannah has 8 gates or doors, through which Muslims can enter after their resurrection on Judgment Day, and it has multiple levels, in which good Muslims reside and commune with angels and prophets. According to the Quran, Jannah is paradise, a garden of everlasting bliss and a home of peace. Allah determines when people die, and they stay in the graves until the day of judgment, when they are resurrected and brought to Allah to be judged on how well they lived their lives on earth. If they have lived well, they go to one of the levels of heaven; if not, they go to hell, JAHANNAM. Jannah is a beautiful place of final return, a garden of eternity whose doors will always be open to them. People who enter Jannah will say, "Praise be to Allah who has removed from us all sorrow, for our Lord is indeed oft forgiving, appreciative, who has settled us in the house of lasting residence out of his bounty. No toil nor sense of weariness shall touch us therein. In Jannah are rivers of water, the taste and smell of which are never changed. Rivers of milk, the taste of which will remain unchanged. Rivers of wine that will be delicious to those who drink from it, and rivers of clear, pure honey. For them will be every kind of fruit and forgiveness from their Lord." According to the Quran, for Muslims, Jannah is a peaceful, lovely place, where injury and fatigue are not present and Muslims are never asked to leave. Muslims in paradise wear gold, pearls, diamonds, and garments made of the finest silk, and they recline on raised thrones. In Jannah, there is no pain, sorrow, or death, there is only joy, happiness, and pleasure. Allah promises the righteous this garden of paradise where the trees are without thorns, where flowers and fruits are piled on top of each other, where clear and cool water flows constantly, and where companions have big, beautiful, lustrous eyes. There is no quarreling or drunkenness in Jannah. There are 4 rivers named Saihan, Jaihan, Furat, and Nil, as well as large mountains made of musk and valleys made of pearls and rubies. To enter one of the 8 doors of Jannah in Islam, Muslims are required to perform righteous deeds. Be truthful, search for knowledge, fear the most merciful, go to mosque every morning and afternoon. Be free of arrogance as well as the spoils of war and debt. Repeat the call to prayer sincerely and from the heart, build a mosque, be repentant. And raise righteous children. The 8 gates are: Bab as-Salat, for those who were punctual in and focused on prayer. Bab al-Jihad, for those who died in defense of Islam, jihad. Bab as-Sadaqah, for those who frequently gave to charity. Bab al-Rayyan, for those who observed fasting during and beyond Ramadan. Bab al-Hajj, for those who participated in the Hajj, the annual pilgrimage to Mecca. Bab al-Qazimin al-Ghayz wal-Afina an-Nas, for those who suppress or control their anger and forgave others. Bab al-Iman, for those who had sincere faith and trust in Allah and strived to follow His commands. Bab al-Dhikr, for those who showed zeal in remembering God. The descriptions of paradise are mentioned in significant detail in the Quran, hadiths and traditional tafsir exegesis. Paradise is described as surrounded by 8 principal gates, each level generally being divided into 100 degrees. The highest level is known as Firdaus, sometimes called Eden. It will be entered first by Muhammad, then those who lived in poverty, and then the most pious. Entrance will be greeted by angels with salutations of peace or Assalamu alaikum. Gardens of perpetual bliss, they shall enter there, as well as the righteous among their fathers, the spouses, and their offspring, and angels shall enter unto them from every gate with a salutation. Peace unto you for that ye persevered in patience. Now how excellent is the final home. The Islamic text describes life for its immortal inhabitants as one that is happy, without hurt, sorrow, fear or shame, where every wish is fulfilled. Traditions relate that inhabitants will be of the same age, 33 years, and of the same standing, equal. Their life is one of bliss, including wearing costly robes, bracelets, perfumes as they partake in exquisite banquets, served in priceless vessels by immortal youths, as they recline on couches inlaid with gold or precious stones. Other foods mentioned include meats, scented wine and clear drinks bringing neither drunkenness nor rousing quarreling. Inhabitants will rejoice in the company of the parents, spouses, and children, provided they were admitted to paradise, conversing and recalling the past. The dwellings for inhabitants will be pleasant, with lofty gardens, shady valleys, fountains scented with camphor or ginger, rivers of water, milk, honey and wines, delicious fruits of all seasons without thorns. One day in paradise is considered equal to 1,000 days on earth. Palaces are made from bricks of gold, silver, pearls, among other things. Traditions also note the presence of horses and camels of dazzling whiteness, along with other creatures. Large trees are described, mountains made of musk, between which rivers flow in valleys of pearl and ruby. According to the Quran, the basic criteria for salvation in afterlife is the belief in one God, last judgment, good deeds, and in all the messengers of God, as well as believing that Muhammad is the final prophet of God. Though one must do good deeds and believe in God, salvation can only be attained through God's judgment. Those who spend freely, whether in prosperity or in adversity, who restrain anger and pardon all men. For Allah loves those who do good, and those who, having done something to be ashamed of, or wronged their own souls, earnestly bring Allah to mind, and ask for forgiveness for the sins, and who can forgive sins except Allah, and are never obstinate in persisting knowingly in the wrong they have done. For such the reward is forgiveness from their Lord, and gardens with rivers flowing underneath, an eternal dwelling. How excellent a recompense for those who work and strive.